Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Facebook. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing Sunday and to come live today to talk about what exactly I mean when I talk about the expansion of consciousness. Uh, what exactly happens when you enter into a different dimension of reality? And that means to enter from the dimension of the time reality or your mind or your past, all mean the same thing, and to shift into an expanded dimension of consciousness. And what exactly happens when we do that? And I also explain more a little bit about an intensive that is coming up on the 28th of February, a returning to the source, and where we will deal exactly with all these aspects and where we will look at that expansion of consciousness and what needs to happen so you could integrate and embody this state within you. So if you've never met before, if that's the first time you see me live or you will find this video on a replay, my name is Natalia. I am an inner mastery and consciousness mentor. And if you happen to catch me live, please say hi, comment, let me know who you are. I'm always happy to meet new people and of course those who I know already. And if you find this video on a replay, please hashtag replay and let me know you watched it, and let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything that resonates with you. So the two dimensions of reality. The fundamentally, it's important to understand where you stand in consciousness, because there are the two dimensions that I'm talking about, and I'm gonna use the analogy to illustrate that to you. And the analogy is very simple. It's the cross, yeah, vertical and horizontal line. And from Christianity, this analogy means exactly that, the two dimensions of reality. So one dimension of reality, the horizontal line, is the dimension of time. Yeah. So in this dimension, you exist on the basis of the past. So you exist in your mind based on the past memory and projecting this past memory into the future. So you always go from past to future, from past to future. So this is the vertical dimension of reality. So what happens with energetics in this dimension of reality? The energy in the dimension of time, it's either suppressed. So if, for example, you have a lot of emotions, if you have a lot of energetic congestions, these are all the suppressions that are enabling you to be an integrated and whole human being. And these suppressions happen from the childhood, and I'm not going to go deeper into that in now, but just for you to understand that the energy moves inwards, either from suppressed, so it's either not moved, or it moves out. It moves out meaning that you lose it. So for example, the anger, you get angry, you throw out the energy. You lose it means that you throw out the energy. So the energy is not retained deep within your center. And that's why you perpetuate existence in the horizontal dimension of reality. Yeah, because to shift into a different dimension of reality, that requires transformation of your energy. So imagine that you exist here. How do you go here? How do you go here? And it's very simple. To go here means you need to come into the present moment, right? And you need to come into the dimension of now. And what does it mean, the dimension of now? The dimension of now means that you don't move into the past and you don't move into the future. So you are just present now. And it's very easy, it is easy, but it's very difficult practically to embody, because for that to happen, all the energy that is suppressed, it needs to be transformed back into the source. And what is source? The source is that vertical dimension of reality. So when I say returning to the source, I mean the return to the vertical dimension of reality. Yeah, that you are always present now. You are an embodied presence. So you are not oscillating. Yeah. So the energy that is suppressed needs to be transformed, and the energy that is thrown out needs to be consolidated backward into the source. And that is when integration, what I call integration of energy, happens. Because here there is no integration. In the vertical dimension, there is no integration possible. Because in the vertical dimension, sorry, in the horizontal dimension, of reality, no integration is possible. So in the horizontal dimension of reality, your energy is all flows downwards through the lower energy centers, which is why you can come, for example, to this dimension of reality, but cannot stay there. So to stay in this dimension of reality as your daily living reality, you need to be integrated. So you need to become vertical inside as well. And that means your lower energy centers and higher energy centers need to integrate and function as one. And that happens when the energy integrates into the source. So we are dealing with two things here. We are dealing with the transformation of energy, because for that to happen, the energy that is suppressed needs to be transformed. Without the transformation of the suppressed energy, the integration cannot happen, and expansion of consciousness cannot happen. And which is why so many people are living in the horizontal line. So to shift and stay, and that's most important, to stay in the vertical dimension of reality. So first, the transformation needs to happen. Then the integration of the lower and higher centers needs to happen. And then you stay in this dimension as an embodied presence. So what is the difference actually in functioning? because a lot of people are talking the spirituality and new age teachings, but it's all great and fine. But when I look at people and I look at teachers, they are not embodied and integrated. And I can see that. For me, it's very easy to look at someone and see at which state they are. So it's not it's not that it's not possible for them to do that. It's just that there is no adequate teachings that could bring you into that integrated state. Or there are very few teachers, because there are very few teachers who live in this dimension themselves. Very few. And if you can find someone like that, please stick to them, because it's gold. It's gold. Because most of the teachers live in the horizontal dimension of reality. They look at the soul or the spirit or whatever you call that. They look at that from the horizontal dimension. They look at vertical dimension, and then they are teaching from this dimension. And of course, whatever they are teaching will bring you in time, because they themselves are in time, that they are going to tell you that you need to improve yourself, that you need to be on spiritual paths, that you need to follow the ascension journey, all of that. But if someone like me who is in the vertical dimension of reality, they see the reality as it is, and that means that, well, you don't need to improve yourself. You don't need to go on the spiritual path or on the ascension journey, because all the journeys are horizontal. They are not taking you to the vertical dimension of reality. So what is needed then? And what is the difference? And the vertical dimension of reality is a totally different way of functioning, and you cannot enter this dimension without a certain preparation and without a certain integration, because it's a massive expansion of consciousness, which is why it's not easy to do. And if it happens, for example, you enter this vertical dimension, and then you may experience turbulence, you may experience challenges in your outer life, in your relationship, in your business, because once the energy starts moving upward and you shift into the different dimension of reality, a lot of things can tremble and shift and change, and you may be asked to change the country, for example, as it happened in my case. I was immediately thrown out of the UK where I lived, to come to Portugal. That can happen to you, and you need to be prepared to handle all of that. So the main shifts that need to happen, I'm gonna tell you briefly about the main shifts, because it took for me several years of integration into that new reality after the shift happened from the horizontal dimension of time into the vertical dimension of timelessness. So first that needs to happen is your body needs to be purified. And purification, I mean the transformation of all of that remaining suppressed energy. And it's very important, because in the vertical dimension, so you are in the vertical dimension, the energy comes into you. So the source, you are an embodied source in the vertical dimension. If I'm using the right word, I'm just trying to describe something that is difficult to be described. But your body needs to be purified from that suppressed energy, so the transformation of energy. So what happens is your body is getting healed, and you are going through a massive healing on all the levels, on mental level, on emotional level, on physical level. So then you need your nervous and glandular systems need to adjust to contain the new and the energy of the source. So what happens when the energy that are used in your emotions, in your thoughts, in your suppressed emotions, when this energy transforms, that becomes the energy of the source. So you're becoming an accumulated energy of the source. And your nervous and glandular systems needs to be adjusted to work with this energy. Yeah, a lot of the things is happening for you by grace, but there are things that we can support and we can work on. So, and you do need support through this stage, because sometimes it can be so challenging and so difficult to navigate. Sometimes you are you are, you just don't know what to do, or you don't have the directions of the past that you are used to have, and that is a very, very, very challenging period. So what needs to happen is your body starts to work in a different upgraded energy, yeah, the energy of the source. Another thing that needs to happen is your brain, your physical brain, starts to work with the master consciousness or supreme consciousness instead of your past memory. This is a very, very important shift that needs to happen. And that is a totally different level of perception. And we are going to talk about that more in the intensive that is coming up, because there are a lot of things um, that are not relevant in when you function in the horizontal dimension of reality, or in the dimension of time. A lot of things become obsolete, and you need to understand what is happening and to be ready for that. So then the vertical dimension is very intelligent and very fast paced consciousness. So what I mean by that, the dimension of the horizontal dimension of time is a very slow consciousness, because it's very heavy, is burdened by mental and emotional waves, by all of your suppressions, by inner conflicts. Now, when you come to the vertical dimension of reality, your intelligence speeds up, and by intelligence I mean your consciousness. So you really enter the dimension of reality that exists in three dimensions. And then I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too much, but I'm just gonna mention that. So you exist the dimension of reality which is out of existence, you exist in the psychic world, and you exist in the dimension of senses. So three dimensions simultaneously. It's a different state of perception. And of course, you need to navigate that and to know how to bring it into your body. So the point is, you see, the point is not to look at the horizontal line from this dimension. Sorry, I think I'm mixing up. So the point is not to look at the vertical dimension from here, from the horizontal dimension of reality. It's not the point. So to be here and to look upwards is not the point. The point is to eliminate the horizontal dimension of reality in your perception. Because in reality, the horizontal dimension of reality is just a play in your mind. Reality is only one. Yeah, this is the truth. The reality is only the horizontal dimension. And as long as you function, the reality is only the vertical dimension. And as long as you function in horizontal dimension, you will mix up reality with the projections of your mind. So whatever exists is just the vertical, this dimension. That is the only reality. And returning to the source means that you abide in this reality, and embody this reality means that you bring this reality into your daily life. Yeah, so your love life is in this dimension, your family life is in this dimension, your work is in this dimension, your business is in this dimension. And this is what the expansion of consciousness means. Shifting in back into the source, into the one dimension of reality. And I invite you to do this process with me on the 28th of February, where we will do intensive. It will be for a couple of hours, returning to the source, where we'll shift your state of consciousness, and where we'll go in more details into what I discussed today, where we will look at differences so you can realize. It's very important that you even realize what is your position, where exactly you are, because when you don't even know, when you are not even aware where you are, it's impossible to navigate your life. Yeah, so we will do that, and we will go through the various differences between those two dimensions. And of course, I will give you some practical tools how you can shift into the vertical dimension and remain there. So thank you so much for being with me today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And for those who are looking for individual support, for those who are looking for support in expansion of consciousness, and especially with integration and embodiment element, who might have had awakening and are just in the void and unstable and are not sure quite yet how to integrate that state in your daily life and into your business, send me a message for an opportunity to work with me one-to-one. And of course, you're more than welcome to come to the intensive returning to the source, where we will just have a deep dive into these subjects, which will give you some clarity as to where you are and how to navigate that too. Thank you so much. I'm wishing you a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the day. And if you find this video on my YouTube channel, please subscribe for more content like this. And please feel free to share this video to everyone who might benefit from seeing it. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And I look forward to seeing some of you at the intensive. Bye-bye.